Hi and welcome back to Gaming for Gamers. So here we are back in Watch Dogs region in London, and for reference purposes we're outside famous St Pancras International Station. It's where you get the Eurostars to France, and behind in the background that is actually the hotel that stands over kind of St Pancras International Station. It's been completely refurbished and you can actually stay there now. They were actually going to demolish this a couple of decades ago, and there was a big campaign not to. Can you imagine someone demolishing that? I mean, why would you do a thing like that? Anyway, it's one of the most iconic buildings in London. Anyway, so today's topic is just something that I thought about due to all these controversies with Concord and Dustbourne, and now there's loads of things with Sweet Baby, and you know what that is. They're a kind of influencer who influences video game developers in how to put characters into their video games, shall we say. So I was thinking about the whole why and how does this end up like this, because obviously video game developers, and many of them have been developing games long before wokeism and Sweet Baby. Why do they think they need this? And it doesn't just count video game developers, it counts movie makers and channels that make movies and series. Disney is one obvious example. And I was thinking, why is this situation like this? And this is kind of what I thought. It's not based on anything other than just kind of common sense, and it may be slightly out, but I think most of it's about right. I think a lot of these companies, for goodwill and for the best reasons in the world, because they wouldn't do it, it stands to reason that Ubisoft and Disney and all these other companies wouldn't appoint somebody they thought was incompetent or that they thought was going to destroy their business. That's obvious. So what I think is that in a period over the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years where wokeism and these kind of things kind of came to the front, these companies thought they were being very PC by appointing women, and it's always women, as their marketing director or their production managers, whatever it might be, whatever the title is, it's the same thing. And they thought they were being very PC and very good. Let's appoint some women, let's appoint some... and they thought they were being very good. And they probably meant with the best will in the world to do the right thing, because that would be the only explanation for how these things develop like this. But then what's happened is these women that they've appointed, they don't actually care about the company. They don't actually care about the people that buy from them or their consumers. All they care about is their message, and the message is usually a wokeist agenda message. It's often a male hating message. It's sometimes a white male hating message. It's sometimes a white people hating message. But that's generally all the messages rolled into one. And that's kind of all they care about. They're not really interested in whether the company makes money. And that's obvious because we know that lots of these companies have made more than one game, more than one series, more than one movie that's had this agenda and it's failed. So it's not that they made it for this will be really popular with the modern audience and it failed. They just don't care. And then the problem all these companies have now is that people are frightened to call out anyone that's not a white man, because if these were white men making these decisions and they were promoting all white or all male or anything like that, anything that anyone found offensive, they would be brought to account, they'd be fired, they'd be in trouble. But once it's a woman, once it's a black person, etc., people are terrified to call them out because they'll sound racist or sexist or homophobic or whatever it may be. So once they've appointed these people, to then get rid of them, one, it would mean they were admitting making a mistake, but to be honest, if it was a guy, they wouldn't care, because it would just be you've messed up. But it's very, very difficult now to get rid of somebody because they'll pull the women card, the race card, and then there'll be loads of outcry from all the other wokeists, and actually from people that don't really understand the world of gaming or the movies. They just see that a woman or a black man or whoever it might be has been fired, and they'll take that as racist without thinking about the context of why they've been fired. So these people are playing on a privileged pass, because they can make far more mistakes and do far more things wrong and have far less interest in sales or anything and still get away with it. So they've got this kind of free pass to kind of do what they want. And we're only seeing now with companies like Ubisoft and Disney, etc., really struggling with sales and how they've messed up with movies and with games that nobody wants. They're actually thinking, hey, we actually do have to do something about this if we still want to have a business. But it's taken almost financial ruin of some of these companies, and I'm sure some of them are, pretty close, because the amount of money they've lost on some of these movies and series and games, just Concord and The Acolyte and the Borderlands movie, just quoting 3 off the cuff, a movie, a series and a game, is ridiculous. So it's time they're realising, and now they are realising, but it's come at a cost. It's come at a cost to people who want to enjoy games or movies that are just movies and games and not have political messages. It's come at a cost to lots of people feeling very frustrated and stressed out. And almost worse, it's come at a financial cost, and I don't really care about Ubisoft or Disney or any of these people's shareholders, but if you think about the vast amounts of money that have been wasted on these games and these movies and these things, that's money that could have been given to real people who have issues, whether they be disabled or whether they be sick or they're homeless or they're poor, who really need the money, not these idiotic people with messages. And if they had that amount of money to chuck around and waste, and why would you waste it on this ridiculous message? Why wouldn't you just say, here, give it to the poor, give it to the needy, give it to the homeless, give it to people who need treatment, who need hospital treatment? It doesn't matter. Give it to another country where they can't afford to have fresh water. So it's all very, very distasteful, and that's not just the water in some places. So anyway, that's kind of my thought on how this situation has come about. I'm glad to see it's changing, but it's certainly been at a cost to almost everybody involved. So it's just sad that people, and all that's really happened is that the people, the feminists and the wokeists who got these jobs have shown that they're no different to anybody else. Once they get power, they become power crazy, which is kind of what's happened. So anyway, thanks for watching Gaming for Gamers. Till next time, take care for now.